everyone, I'm Alexis. I'm a creative designer with Sizzix, and today I'm going to be going through all the items you can find in our spring reset at Hobby Lobby. Now, a few of these items are exclusive to Hobby Lobby, and I'll be sure to designate which ones are so you don't find any confusion. I do want to preface that while I have lots of inspiration for you today and various dies and folders and even the machine that's going to be there that's exclusive, some of these items are only available at Hobby Lobby. So I will make sure to tell you which ones are exclusive. The rest are not. So if you are outside of the US and you're interested in some of these items, you will be able to get them. It's just the exclusives because Hobby Lobby does not ship outside of the US. So I just wanted to preface that before I start going through all of the wonderful things that are available. There's only, I think, about 6 items, so it's not a lot. I know in the past we've done a lot, and everyone's always really sad they can't get their hands on them. So I just wanted to preface that before we start going through everything that is going to be in the spring reset. But stick around because I've tried to incorporate lots of inspiration where I can, and hopefully you will take away that at the very least. Okay, let me switch to my overhead camera and we'll get going right through it. So the first one is called Summertime Icons. And as you can see, it is a lovely little set of summertime fun. So we've got, it's very tropical oriented. So you've got a parrot and, although that could be a totally different bird, I don't necessarily know my bird species. But you've definitely got stuff that is vacation mode or summertime. So I'm going to pull this up closer so you can see it. But you get lots of lovely little pieces, perfect for sending out those summer party invitations or scrapbooking or doing a mini book for one of your vacations over the summer upcoming. Cute for like little picnic kind of stuff if you wanted to, but perfect all around for summer. The next one's called Beach Day. And this is very much what it is a day at the beach. So you get a sandcastle and an umbrella. You get a little sign that says to the beach. And you have camera, a little tote bag. Again, perfect for sending a card to someone who maybe has a summer birthday or scrapbooks or mini books for anything that you might be doing if you have a beach vacation of any kind. Again, going with kind of the travel theme, this next one that's exclusive is called Time to Travel, and I can't wait to use this one because I am a big travel buff. But you will see you've got a globe, a suitcase, a little airplane, and a little eye mask, which I think this one is adorable. Perfect for any type of vacation. So you've got Bon Voyage. I love the little camera with the Polaroid images right here. I think that is such a nice little detail. This obviously would work really well for any travels you have, or if you're wishing someone good luck if they're going to be traveling, or maybe you had family visiting and you just want to send them home with a nice card. This little set is definitely going to be coming into my collection. The next one's called Wild Things, which obviously I think implies what it is about, and it is wild animals, but with a party theme. So I think this one's great. Obviously, these animals are typically associated with like summertime and things like that. However, I really do think this particular die set would be perfect for year-round use. So you get, I'm fairly certain that that one is a parrot. So you get a parrot, a monkey, and a flamingo. You also get these really nice foliage elements like the hibiscus floral right here. You get a nice wreath with some smaller florals, a balloon that you can attach to any of these animals, as well as some party hats. So if you have a jungle-themed birthday party, which I have done right here, or someone who might be having a kind of a jungle-themed birthday party, you can create a nice little card for them. I did take those leaves and I created a tone-on-tone pattern, and then I just added some glitter right here to this particular card. But I know plenty of little kids that are wild like monkeys that I could use this card for, especially with all the upcoming birthdays I have this summer. Okay, the next exclusive is called House Party, and this one I think is a great everyday set. So this one has a house, obviously, like a kind of like a little town home. It also has some birthday kind of gift elements and a cupcake, but it also has a little signpost. You get some numbers so you could customize it. I think what I like about this one is that it could work for a party, like a birthday type thing, or you could use it for a new home, we've moved, anything like that. It really kind of is up to you what you want to do with it. And then the last exclusive item is one called Let Love Grow. And I think this sets us up perfectly for the next kind of section I'm going to go through, which is summer botanicals, spring flowers, things like that. This one, if you are a gardener, my parents love to garden. They have a greenhouse. They are constantly growing in the garden over the summer, especially like fruits and vegetables and things like that. So this one's perfect for if you have a little green thumb in your life. And I love the little rain boot and the florals that come out of it. There's a lot of nice little texture on these elements to make it feel nice and sweet. You also get the watering can. I think what I like the most about these types of sets is that you can take one singular element and make an entire card from it if you wanted to. So like these little lemons, you could cut a bunch of those out and just create a pattern over the entirety of a card and just use that on a card front and call it a day. So while they're simple, sweet little sets, I really feel like the elements are very year-round and you can change them out tonally for the season and make them work however you'd like them to. So that's it for exclusive items. Now I'm going to kind of switch gears and go into the other items that you can get at Hobby Lobby right now. So the first one is Beehive. I almost feel like it was like behave. But Beehive, I love this one. I love bees. I grew up with a huge ice plant hill, so we always had bees in our backyard. They're so good for growing flowers and things. I love them. This is the kind of image that you can see. You get 3 different size bees. You also get a little honeycomb feature. And you also get some floral and foliage elements. So you can take that, turn it into a little card, put a little stamp sentiment on it, and send it off to a family or friend. I know that this particular kind of theme right here with bees is very much trending for baby showers. I've seen a lot of kind of themes surrounded around that. So even for invitations or party decor, I think this die set is perfect for that. This next one, you're going to definitely want some tools and some extra little help because it is a very intricate set, we'll say. It is called Patterned Butterflies, and as you can see, it's a Thinlits die set. I'm going to pull in this image real quick so you can just see how detailed it is. So, all of those little dots, yeah, you cut those out and you put them down. So automatically there are 2 products I'm going to recommend for you. One is adhesive sheets. They will make you so happy that you invested in them. They are also available at Hobby Lobby. They come in 6x6. What I would recommend doing is just picking out what colors you want to do, cut a 6x6 sheet of cardstock and put an adhesive sheet on it, and then just cut your pieces out. What an adhesive sheet does is it turns any piece of paper into essentially a sticker. So putting down all these little pieces is going to be time consuming, but it'll be so much less messy if you use adhesive sheets rather than like a liquid adhesive. I'm also going to recommend that you use the die brush and die pick accessory kit. This to get all the little pieces out. There is a foam in here that you lay your die on, and then you run this brush across it and it'll get all the little pieces out. And then for anything that you want to like apply down, or the die pick's really great for taking the adhesive backing off. You definitely want like tweezers, things like that. I think when you have those tools, putting together something like this makes it just so much easier. I think ultimately if you're really into detailed dies, then you're going to love this. If you're not, I would recommend just having the tools nearby to make it that much more accessible to you. So I just took 3 of those butterflies, put them along in a row. Kind of reminds me of those things you would see in like a science professor's office with all the different bugs and things of that nature. So I just wanted to create a card that reminded me of those. I know there's a very specific name for them, and I, at this moment, cannot remember. So that is patterned butterflies. The next one, the next 2 kind of correspond to each other. They are by Lisa Jones, and they were part of her her botanical release. So the first one that we have is Wild Blooms number 2. I want to make sure I said that right. Yeah, number 2, because there is a number 1, but only number 2 is going to be at Hobby Lobby. So you get these really nice leaf and foliage elements, as well as a couple different blooms to really decorate anything that you want to do. I have made a card right here, and I've actually used an embossing folder I'm going to show you in just a little bit called Leaf Pattern, but I've created just a really simple card to give to somebody. But what I found with these 2 particular sets is they work really well together as a collection. So I'm going to bring in the other one real quick. This one is called Wild Blossom Corners. So you can see we have a theme: wild blooms, wild blossoms. These ones are really nice, and these were really simple to put together. So you get the main kind of leaf, main foliage element right here, but then you also get some layering elements as well, which I think is really nice because then you can customize your projects. So I did this one right here where I just stamped a sentiment, which actually is like more like definitions. And then I just picked out some colors, added some pattern paper, really simple, really quick and easy to put together. And then I did this one that's tone on tone. So again, I did another definition stamp, and then I just cut all of the pieces out of the same color and then created some dimension with some foam tape. But you can see you can create like a wreath if you wanted to. You can just use one element. I actually think these would really be beautiful to use for bridal shower invitations or decorations at bridal showers. Or if you just have a friend like me who's obsessed with florals, birthday cards, things like that. And even scrapbooks or mini books would be perfect with these as well. So that is the Lisa Jones botanical items that will be available. Then we have another one by Lisa Jones. She really loves her florals. This one's called the Layered Summer Flower. So this one kind of is in a series of layered flowers that she's done, but this is the most current one, and it's very much a spring floral. I think you could change out the colors year round, but what I love about this is that the layering elements are very simple, very easy to identify. On the actual dies, you'll see embossing lines which show you where you should layer each element on the actual die, but they're just 2. You get the base and then you get the layering elements, so they're very easy to put together. I did this one really quickly today, actually, and just added a sentiment that says my favorite color is rainbow. And as you can see, I did a very rainbow-oriented flower collection. But I literally was able to cut all the pieces for this in a matter of a couple minutes and put it together in another 5 to 10. So within 15 minutes, I had a beautiful card that I could send out to somebody. And I mean, I always have lots and lots of florals. I am flower obsessed. I can't get enough dies. I use them for everything. Another one that we have is called Floral Contours. And this one's similar in the sense that it's kind of like the Wild Blossom Corners, in that you get the main element and then you also get the pieces to cut the layering elements. So I think what's I like about this is that these pieces right here can be dimensional. So you can actually just use the flowers by themselves. You can create a wreath effect where you go all the way around in a circle with one element. You just repeat it all the way around. You can also do one where one's on top, one's on bottom. You can change up the arrangement. I think these are perfect for cards, but I like the idea that you can create a wreath and do something more home decor oriented if you wanted to. But I like that you could also use the flowers by themselves. continuing our journey with floral elements, we have another one by Lisa Jones. This one's called the Floral Geo Heart Frame. So this one actually comes with a really cool geometric floral heart, but then you also get all of these various foliage and floral elements. I think this was one of my favorites that Lisa has come out with. And you can see I did like a generic kind of Valentine's card, but what I love about this is that it really can just be used for everything. It's not just Valentine's or for your significant other. You can send this off to a friend if you wanted to, and just change out the sentiment like I'm so grateful for you or thank you. You can change out the colors to be able to use it year round, whether it's spring, summer, winter, fall. It's a really versatile set, and I love the geometric element of it because it adds just a really nice focal point to fix your pieces around. But what I also like is that you could just use them separately if you wanted to too. You could just use the heart, or you could just use the foliage and floral elements. So really nice options all around for that one. This next one, I've got a lot of different ideas for you. I think it's really important when we have dies that there's a lot of techniques that are possible with them, that I really kind of expand on that, so that when you go into Hobby Lobby and you're looking at these in person, you know that there's so much more to them than meets the eye. So this next one is by Lisa Jones. It's also a floral. This one's called Botanical Scene. And Botanical Scene is a special die. There is so much you can do with this, and I think when people see it, they're like, that's it. It just has the die. So you can cut this by itself and just mount this on the paper if you wanted to, which I think is just as stunning. But you could also, if you're really into details, you could cut it out of a bunch of different colors and then just cut out the negative and then fill in all the positives and create your own unique kind of floral combination of colors. But what I really like to do with it, I've got a couple. So this one I did an acrylic background with paints, and I like blended paints together, and I just cut this top element and laid it on top of those. So you can see just by doing like an inked background, an acrylic wash, or a watercolor wash, and then just laying that piece on top, you can get a really beautiful, simple card in no time at all. Another way I like to use it was with our emboss and transfer set. Now this is available at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to have one open, so I'm going to show you that. It's a little 2-piece set. And basically what the emboss and transfer set does is it turns an intricate die into an embossing folder. So there are instructions on the packaging on what the sandwich is for this in our Big Shot machines. But basically, you take your die, you mist your paper with a lot of water, and you use the silicone rubber and this impression pad when you're running it through the machine. And what it ends up doing is it creates an embossed image. So by using the silicone rubber and instead of another cutting pad, it's preventing the die from cutting through the paper. And instead it just pushes in so that you get a really nice emboss feature. So this is something you can do with any super intricate die like this, where it's an overall pattern. I've seen butterflies done with it. This is a really unique feature. I know we have additional videos on this particular technique. So that's definitely one to keep in mind. I did this one in black and white. You can't really see on camera that it's raised, but in person you can see that it's embossed. And then I just painstakingly went around it with white gel pen to give it kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch look and feel. And then the final way that I like to use it is as a stencil. So I've got a couple samples here where I've cut it and I used it as a stencil with black paint. So I laid this down, masked it off, painted a background with black paint, and then peeled this up immediately so it wouldn't stick to the paper. And I was left with a really nice positive pattern. You can do it in white paint. You could do it with some of the effects, or like anything like dimensional paste or expand paste. So with this one, I inked the background on the card first. I should say that. I used it as a stencil first. And did my Distress Oxide ink blend. Then I took that off and I put it back on, and I placed expand paste across the not expand paste. I used a different paste with this. I used a glitter, the glitter paste. So, and then I pulled that across, and you get a really nice dimensional, sparkly effect on top of that oxide ink. So I did dual purpose with this, but then I like to point out something else. Save your stencils if you can, because then these can act as their own card fronts and be decorated. So you can lay them on a white piece of paper or whatever color you want, and then you have a whole new card. So keep your scraps, because your scraps actually end up becoming another make altogether. So how pretty is that? I love that this particular die is so versatile, and there's a million things you can do with it. I also wanted to point out, if you have any difficulty cutting it, sometimes the different machines have different pressures, so they might need a little extra help. The Chrome Precision base plate is a great option for any of these intricate dies, especially just on the Big Shot machine, so it gives it that extra little cushion, if you will, to make the die cut through in those intricate dies. It just gives it a little help. A lot of our other machines have the additional pressure, so that's not always necessary, but I did want to recommend that for the Big Shot machine, because sometimes it doesn't quite cut through the way you want, but if you have the Chrome Precision base plate, it'll cut through like beautifully. Okay, the last one from our florals is one by Olivia Rose. It's called Bold Flowers, and I've got a couple different projects with this one. So I think anybody can say like they want some bigger florals, and I think what's great about bigger florals is it's not just great for card making, but it's also great for scrapbooking, home decor, party decor, things like that. It's just nice to have those kind of everyday shapes that are a little bit larger. So I've got that one there. I've got a couple projects. So I love scrapbooking, and I did I think I did a vlog with this one. So if you're interested in seeing how I made this, you can go watch that. And basically what I did is I I painted the background, and then I took a bunch of the flowers and cut them out of different materials and just layered them up around the photo. So it's really great to get those bigger elements on a scrapbook page. Also great just for everyday card making. So you can see I just cut this out of like neutral cardstocks and some opulent cardstocks, and you can send it off in the mail. So another great flower option for you at Hobby Lobby. So the next ones are kind of more like generic, everyday, and I'm in love with this next one. I've been singing its praises for a little while now. This one's called Tea Time by Olivia Rose, and as you can see, it comes with a little teacup and this beautiful foliage element. So the actual main piece of itself is one piece, and then it comes with all these other layering flowers and leaves and things like that, so you can build this up however you'd like. I personally think this one's great for card making. Mother's Day is coming up, and it's available now at Hobby Lobby, so you can get all of this right now if you want to do some last minute things. I think if you're doing like a party for high tea, or you're gonna you want to send something sweet to a friend, these are perfect little cards, whether they're small, medium, or large. So you can definitely use them for a variety of things. But I love, my grandma and we drink tea all the time. We're very much an Irish tea family, so I love that one. This next one I think is my favorite that Olivia has come out with so far this year. It is called Build a Cake, and it's part of our Chapter 2 launch. It is so much fun. I love layered cakes, especially when they remind me of a certain Disney movie where the fairies are fighting over the cake colors and making a pretty cake. So I saw this one and immediately it took me back to childhood for some reason. But what's really unique about this particular die set is that all of these elements are interchangeable. So you get all these different kind of foundational pieces, and then you can mix and match them to your heart's content. So you can make them as tall as you want, as short as you want. You get a couple of different kind of cake bases or cake platters, and you can change out the colors for whatever you might be trying to do, whether it's a bright poppy kind of make like this one, Oh Happy Day, or it's a more sophisticated kind of birthday card, wishing you joy. So I think I love the most about this is that you can really customize it. You could do something for weddings. You could do something in someone's favorite colors, but perfect for cards, perfect for those scrapbook pages. If you wanted to do like a whole bunch of cakes along the bottom of a scrapbook page, I think that would be really cute. The next two are by Hughes, and he actually sent me a bunch of projects so I could show you what you can do with these. The first one, and I really hope I'm pronouncing this right, and if I'm not, I apologize in advance. It's called Ikebana, and it is so beautiful. I love this set. So I wanted to show you the packaging and then show you how the actual sizing. So I think sometimes the packaging, you see it and you think it's going to be that size, and then it ends up being double the size sometimes. So you get these really beautiful kind of floral vessels in a variety. I think there's 7 on here, different ones. And you also get some branches and then some cherry blossoms. So you can really have fun with the actual vessels, make them look antiqued, play around with various types of mediums to give them different effects. And then you add the florals in to really just add that kind of fun effect to it. So Pete sent me a couple of projects showing different ways that you can use it. So you can just line them up, do a little ink background, send a simple card. Again, you can do like an ink splatter and just use one. So I really like how he takes just one element and builds a card with it. I think there's something so simplistic and beautiful about that. And you can just create your own like individualized backgrounds with stencils, and then just add your different florals onto it. And look, it's just like 2 little pieces, a stamp, and some ink. It's really simple cards. This is a same kind of idea, but instead of coloring the center, he's used a masking film kind of thing here to create the ink around the outside edge. And so you can see every single one of those was 1 to 2 elements, a stamp, and then some kind of a mixed media. So really easy to put together, doesn't require a lot of effort, but you get such beautiful options from them. I love brain. I love Pete's brain. He comes up with the greatest stuff. So this next one's also by Pete, and it's called Moon and Back. So this one is quite frankly a moon. It's a crescent moon, but you get these really whimsical celestial elements with it. So you get to the moon and back, you get some clouds, stars, some kind of dangling features. And Pete's done some really cool projects with this one too. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell in the camera, but he's kind of cut these pieces out, inked them, and then covered them with a really cool embossing enamel. So I think that's something people forget when you see die cuts, is that you can actually make them look very different just by adding embossing powder on top and inking them. Like there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. So like for this one, he took it and I think how he did this one in particular is he created a background and then he die cut the pieces from it so that they would all kind of be similar. With this one, he cut the pieces and then he covered them in silver embossing powder and like 1 or 2 times. And that's what creates that really nice enamel effect. In person, it looks like melted silver. It's gorgeous. And then this one, he did a background and just added in very small elements of silver to kind of bring in that celestial feel, but then kept it with I think this looks like a nebula up in the Milky Way galaxy, and just added a really nice kind of thing. I think these elements could very much be used for a birthday party or a baby shower of any kind, and obviously just day-to-day cards. Then we have one from Eileen Hull, and it is called the Heart Mandala. This one's really great, I think, for journal covers. I also think this one is really nice, the details. You could cut it into pieces and tuck them into card fronts or scrapbook pages, but it is a nice, a really nice feature. It's a pretty decent size. Again, this would be a great one with the Chrome Precision base plate. The last kind of dies I want to go through are the, well, not dies, are the embossing folders. So I'm just going to get this basket out of the way real quick. So we have one that's coming out called Swiss cheese, which is literally like a little cheese background. I love this one. If you have any mouse dies or even if you're doing a party for like a cheese board party, I think this one would be so cute for an invitation. It's very specific, but I think for the right people, if you love cheese or you love cute little mice kind of features, you could use this as the background. Then we have Ornamental Motif. This one's by Kath Breen. It is a really simple background, even as intricate as that kind of detail is, but it is very much a nice kind of geometric floral background, really beautiful for, I think, wedding. Actually, I think that one would be, and this next one I think would be really beautiful for weddings as well. This one's called Art Nouveau, and I got this actually on a piece of paper so you can see. So this is a multi-level, so it's not quite as deep as an impression as 3D embossing. So there's just a couple of different levels here. And what I really like about this one is that you can just cut it and ink it and have that nice white background with a different color on top. Or you can cut it out, or not cut it, emboss it out of black and then add some luster wax on it just to give it a more gilded look. But really nice, beautiful, subtle pattern with a lot of detail and very sophisticated. So perfect for wedding, but also I think for if you have that friend that's very kind of Great Gatsby, 1920s, loves that kind of look, I think that one's perfect for them. The next one is called Lacy, and this one's really intricate. So it has this amazing background, and then the foreground that's laid on top of it is all these florals and foliage vines. Really pretty. I think this one just by itself, like you don't even need to do anything to it. Put a sentiment on it and maybe ink the background or just do it out of metallics. It's really, the detail is stunning. The next one is called Geometric Flowers, and I like how this one it has a geometric pattern, but then these smaller elements in it really add a nice kind of organic texture to it. So this one's perfect, I think, for overall backgrounds on cards. It would be nice out of white, even if you just wanted to have a little texture in the background. You don't necessarily always need to do these out of color or ink them or anything like that. Sometimes the folders just by themselves are really wonderful. I did show you earlier this next one called Leaf Pattern. I like to use this one with backgrounds with flowers. I also think this is a perfect one for weddings, especially if you are like me and you live in California and you have lots of beach weddings. But I think the pattern is really nice and subtle, so you could add it to different elements of a wedding, but I also think it just works great with anything tropical or foliage oriented. The last thing I want to go through is a very special machine that is exclusive at Hobby Lobby, and that is our Sorbet Switch machine, or Switch Plus machine, I should say. So I'm sure you've probably seen a lot of videos on the Switch machine, and most of them have probably been with our white machine. But Hobby Lobby exclusively has it in the sorbet color. I'm not going to demo this because there are lots of videos that show the demo of how to use this machine. I will just say, like, it has, you know, the same kind of features as the white machine. It has the storage compartment for any of your tools that you might want to do. It has the switch buttons as normal. It has the handles on the side. It comes with the power adapter like normal. You also get your instruction booklet, which I highly recommend you read through when you get the machine. It also comes with the starter kit items. So you've got this really nice multi-layered heart embossing folder that comes with it. Then you get a couple sets of framelits and thinlits. So you get a really nice hexagon pattern. You get lovely florals and foliage elements that will last you all year round. You wanted stuff that was very evergreen. And then you get this really nice decorative panel, which you can create a repeat pattern with. You can create bookmarks. There's all kinds of stuff on that. And then in addition to those, you also get the standard platform for the machine, the adapter platform for the machine, and 2 cutting pads. So this is as a starter kit, but what's exclusive about this one is the color. So you will not be able to get this color anywhere but Hobby Lobby at the moment. And it is a wonderful machine. But if you're curious more about this machine, any of the machines demonstrations that we've done on our YouTube page or on our Facebook, you will get the same features and benefits. It's the same machine, it's just a different color. So I highly recommend, if you haven't seen a demo on this machine, but you're interested in an electric machine that has a 9-inch wide opening and literally takes away the ability for you just can sit and feed it in and call it a day and keep working on other stuff while it's going through the machine. It's fabulous. So that is it for Hobby Lobby. And I'm really excited for you all to get out there and check it out. Like I said earlier, it is all available right now. Thank you for bearing with me on all that. I know it was a lot of stuff to go through, but I hope you found lots of inspiration. I hope you were excited to go check out that sorbet switch machine, as well as the exclusive items and all the other beautiful things that are now available at Hobby Lobby. Whether you are prepping for spring and summer, you just need to bulk up on your favorite floral makes. You want to send a sweet little card to your grandma for asking her for a cup of tea. Whether you want to just send a little thank you note to a dear friend, or you want to celebrate somebody's special day. I hope that all of this and more inspires you to get out there and to create. It's one of our favorite things to do here at Sizzix, and we love being able to share that with the rest of you. If you have any questions about any of the product that I've shown, please drop a comment in the comment section and we will be sure to get back to you. If you have any comments or questions about any of the makes I did, please be sure to also put those into the comment section and I will get back to you and answer any of those kind of questions that you might have that are technique oriented perhaps. So I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing what you all create with all of these new dies. I will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much. Have a good one.